I'll catch up with friends and family from high school, members of my own family. And I remember specifically after the convoy, it was like, someone was like, oh, how you doing? And it's like, my friend Jeremy McKenzie like went to jail because his podcast got construed as like a terrorist organization. And that was kind of the justification for the use of the Emergencies Act. And essentially they piled on all these other like criminal charges to make him look like this horrible person. And I'm kind of coming to the conclusion that we don't really live in a free country. And also I was at the convoy, so I might be guilty of mischief too. So I might go to jail or they might try to arrest me. I'm not really sure, but I'm not sure we live in a free country anymore. And like, you can't really say that all to somebody and then follow like what you're talking about. And there's many other scenarios, like even ones you brought up. There's a lot in the documentary of the different people I interviewed where like people wouldn't believe you. They wouldn't believe the story because it's absurd. And like, I'll be in the social setting wanting to explain this to people. And I think in the back of my head, they're going to think I'm crazy. And sometimes I won't even explain it because it's too much to explain or they're going to think I'm crazy. So I'm like, you know what? Never mind. But with this documentary, if you want to learn about it, watch this documentary. If you got some time, if you want to see how bad things are here, I made a documentary about it. I'm not crazy. You're just misinformed and consuming propaganda. So there you go. I think this documentary is important because if they manage to pass these speech laws, I think that people who criticize immigration will be at the top of the list. We've seen this in the UK already. People who criticize immigration being thrown in jail for tweets. So it's really important that people see this documentary for that reason. Because not only just reaching out of the echo chamber to prove to people, hey, I'm not crazy. Like, look at the state of our country and the lack of free speech. It's pitiful. But the other thing is I want people in our echo chamber to be emboldened, to be inspired, to not be intimidated by these smear merchants anymore, to not be intimidated by antihate.ca and their henchmen who are connected to the news media for the most part. Because what is holding, in the theory of the sycophants for Pierre Poilievre, what's holding him back? They're going to get called names. Okay, I don't care. These people are Antifa, some of them. A lot of them are the executive director for Anti-Hate, Evan Balgord, said, we're proudly anti-fascist.
We are very proudly anti-fascist.
This is a ideology, some would say group if you're in the States, a violent terrorist group if you're in the States. There's examples of political violence in Canada associated with Antifa members or people who believe in the ideology. Why do we care if those people call us names? They want to beat us up. They want to commit violence against us. They probably wouldn't care if we got shot like Charlie Kirk. So why the do we care if they call us names? They're already dehumanizing us. They already hate us. And that's why it just, pisses me off no end, the cowardice from Poilievre. We need to pander to Antifa that hates us. No, we don't. No, we don't. And that is another byproduct or thing that I hope will come out of this documentary, is not be intimidated by Antifa people who hate us and are calling us names, because they have a terrible track record. Everything they're doing is in bad faith, and they're hateful people themselves. But if you want to see, there's a couple screenings for this documentary that have been locked into the schedule. I want to plug those. If you're in the Calgary area or in Alberta, Tuesday, December 16th. It's December 16th, but it's free speech, calgary.eventbrite.com. December 16th, Tuesday, December 16th in Calgary, free speech, calgary.eventbrite.com to get tickets to that. Francis Widowson will be there. Artur Pawlowski will be there. Jojo Ruba will be there. These are the canceled pastors and canceled professor. Shout outs to Francis Widowson, by the way. She was, arrested for speaking on campus. She showed up with a sandwich board and spoke on campus, and they arrested her for trespassing. It's insane. She you'd see more cops at a drug bust. And this is just, these aren't even rent-a-cops. These are real police officers welcoming a professor who just wants to disagree with the ruling narrative. Anyway, and there's also an event in Ottawa as well on December 21st, the Sunday. It's at Bikers Church. You can go to freespeechottawa.eventbrite.com to buy tickets there. We're going to have Randy Hillier speaking at that one, and hopefully some other guests as well. But and yeah, if you want to watch the trailer, it's linked on those things, and there's a Give Send Go, givesendgo.com/save free speech. There's a trailer there. But guys, thanks so much for having me on this evening. A lot of good stuff.